Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Intuitive Art Mediums. Thank you for joining me for the Gemini New Moon Pick a Card Tarot reading, which occurs on Monday, May 26th, which is also Memorial Day. The moon will enter Gemini at 1:21 p.m. Eastern Time, and then conjunct with the sun at 11:02 p.m. Eastern Time, so be sure to adjust to your location on the planet. Gemini is ruled by the planet Mercury, so it carries the energy of the mind, travel. So it's about traveling, communications, and conveying your ideas. Sometimes it can be inspiration. So we have 3 piles to choose from. This is pile 1 with the sodalite double pointed crystal. This is pile 2 with the cat's eye sphere. And this is pile 3 with the clear quartz. Take your time in choosing your pile. You may be drawn to more than one pile. That's your intuition letting you know that there's a message for you in that pile as well. I'll begin with pile 1. There'll be timestamps down below for the other readings, and I'll meet you at your reading. Hello, pile 1. If you were drawn to the sodalite double-pointed stone, welcome to your reading. We're first going to look at your 3 Moonology cards, and then I will draw a card from the Queen of the Moon Oracle. And I will also draw a card from the Super Activator deck. Gemini is, new moons are great for beginning new spells, beginning new projects, and Gemini moon complements this energy of beginnings. So let's take a look at your Moonology cards first. And we have the new moon in Pisces, which is meditate and contemplate. And that's a really positive energy with this Gemini energy. And then we have the last quarter moon in Cancer. Take a breather, which you might want to do breath work with your meditation and contemplation. And then we have moon cycles with patience. Be patient with yourself. Witness your breath as you meditate and contemplate, and allow those ideas to flow. Okay, let's get you a Queen of the Moon Oracle card. And we have for you Waning Crescent number 2 with resistance. Okay, some of you might be feeling some resistance, some tightness in your body. That's a sign of resistance. At the bottom of the deck, we have focus with the waxing gibbous. And so your focus is, where are you feeling that resistance in your body? And what is the root of that resistance? Because we quite often hold stress, traumas in our body, and it will be where we feel that tightness at. And you can breathe through that by focusing on where that tightness is and release it through breath work. And there are different kinds of breath work meditations where through your breath you can create an altered state of mind and being. And this can be done through meditation and contemplation. And be patient with yourself, because that resistance isn't going to let go right away. It'll be there. You'll feel it loosen up. And for some areas and for some people, it might just completely relax and disappear, because you were able to connect with what it is that's causing that resistance and allow that energy to flow, just like with the moon cycles here of flow. Be patient, it will happen. Let's go deeper into this reading with the Moon Garden Tarot. And we begin with the Five of Swords. To me, this is where you're feeling that resistance, that tension. This is a card of competition, of winning and losing, as well as letting go. It's also a card about challenge, being challenged. And in that challenge, that could be where you're feeling that resistance. Maybe those that are challenging you is a form of resistance. They are resisting you. And that can also be the other way around. Perhaps you are challenging yourself or something, other people, and it is causing resistance in that relationship. Next, we have the Devil. Okay, for some of you, this can be something within yourself. Doing that shadow work is going to be very important. The Devil card actually represents a kind of alchemy that sets you free, because here we have the chain that is resistance, holding you back. This could be some kind of negative behavior, bad habit that you want to break. And then it rises up and it begins to transform. We have the separation to create purity, and it rises up. Here's where it, as it goes through the process, we have the moon and also the full moon. So we have the cycles here as well. This could also represent the sun, because in traditional alchemy, it is about bringing together the sun and moon. So we have the moon, the star, and the full moon. But I also see this as part of the moon cycles. And the star here is the purification, clearing out that which no longer serves you in your life. And it could be a challenge. It could be where you're feeling that resistance, where you want to let it go, but there's certain aspects that, because it's a habit, because it's always been there, it feels comfortable. The Five of Swords is saying that a change is needed here. Let's get you some more tarot cards. We have the Sun. Okay, so now we have the Sun depicted here with bringing clarity to your shadow work. And I see this as a very beautiful progression, because we have the Five of Swords. I feel like that for some of you, you are challenging your own demons, your own shadow, and bringing clarity with the Sun, consciousness into the unconscious, bringing clarity. We also have a child on a Pegasus, getting back to your inner child, coming back to your true essence. And then we have the Queen of Staffs, taking a chance on yourself, taking that risk, because the Queen of Pentacles or I'm sorry, the Queen of Staves, the Queen of Wands, is the Queen of Fire. And we have the continuation of the sunflowers from the Sun card to the Queen of Wands, bringing clarity to your ideas, to your inspiration. And quite often, our best inspiration comes from the challenges. I mean, think of some of the best stories. There's conflict in the best stories that come to a resolution, but the story is the process of that. You see what needs to be cleared, and then you take inspired action. You take a chance. The Queen of Wands knows how to make an entrance, and I feel like that you are making a grand entrance, and you are going to shine. We have this very strong contrast between the devil and the sun, the darkness, the shadow self, and the brightness of the sun. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles. And here above the Ace of Pentacles, we have the Pegasus that is here in the Sun card. The pentacles are the seeds. The Ace of Pentacles is a new beginning, a seed that you are going to be planting the seeds of your ideas. This can also be a financial windfall, coming into some money. This could be the starter money for a business or a creative endeavor. And then we have the Eight of Swords. Here is the resistance, facing your fears, having the courage to set yourself free. Okay, let's get some clarifying cards on here with the Everyday Witch Tarot. On the Five of Swords, we have the Lovers. This is a card of choices. Okay, with it being on the Five of Swords, this can be should I stay or should I leave kind of energy. Leaving something behind that you no longer enjoy, and choosing love over the Five of Swords. Now, this, of course, can be the love for yourself, but with the Devil card here beside it, it can certainly be the love of a bad habit, you know, alcohol, drugs, other bad negative behaviors that are addictive. It doesn't necessarily have to be with, I mean, it can even be procrastination. Or spending a lot of time with that Five of Swords energy where you're feeling like a loser, rather than, you know, perhaps it's time to like shift that perspective and decide to walk away from a losing situation, choosing something that you love over that. And this could also be somebody that loves you, is helping you through this situation. On the Devil, we have the Three of Swords, betrayal. So I do feel like that you are letting go of something or someone that has betrayed you, that hurts you, hurts your heart. And part of your healing is doing this shadow work of the Devil, working on yourself, bringing the sun's light into clarity, and being honest with yourself, and forgiving yourself, and healing the wounds of the Three of Swords. On the Sun, we have the Eight of Cups. Okay, you are now walking away from something. It is very clear that it's time to walk away from a situation, which could be a relationship that has negatively impacted you, traumatized you, and you felt stuck. For some of you, this could be a narcissistic kind of relationship. And this doesn't have to be a lover's, it can be a friendship. The Lovers is ruled by Gemini, and you are walking away from a negative situation that has made you feel betrayed somehow. It no longer serves you. And with this Queen of Staffs here, you're taking a chance on yourself. You know you deserve better, so you're choosing to walk away from something, even though it's difficult for you to do so. You are making a grand entrance into the next phase of your life, where we have the Seven of Wands, where you are taking the higher ground, standing up for yourself, standing in your truth. Again, the Queen of Wands is taking a chance, and I feel like that here you are taking that chance on yourself, taking the high ground. You're not, this person isn't saying anything to anyone. They are quietly leaving the situation. And when they become challenged, you are going to be able to stand up for your truth. Notice there's a black cat here, just as there is a black cat before the Queen of Wands. So black cats tend to represent independence. And regardless of what other people are saying, you are choosing yourself. You are choosing your truth. And on the Ace of Pentacles, we have the Hierophant. Initiation into something new. And here we have a teacher teaching meditation. And in meditation, there can also be contemplation. And in that meditation contemplation, which goes so well with this Gemini new moon energy, you are reorganizing. The Hierophant is teaching the community a spiritual path, inviting you to embrace the higher power. However you perceive that higher power, you can perceive it as the universe. You can perceive it as the unseen energy. And you are being taught about your own unseen energy. If you rub your hands together like this and pull them apart, you can feel that electromagnetic energy between your hands, like two magnets. And if you want, you can hold two magnets together and you can feel that energetic energy. It's either going to attract or repel. And we have this resistance card. So your own energy could be repelling the negative energy that you are rising above to stand in your own truth. And with this Ace of Pentacles and the Hierophant, you have found a spiritual truth. And the Ace of Pentacles is the seed of that which is going to grow more into your higher self. And with the two students here, we have dark and light-haired. This can also represent dreams, bringing those ideas, bringing things up from the unconscious mind into the conscious mind. And it is the Hierophant that guides you through that process. And then on the Eight of Swords, we have the Sun showing up again. We have the Sun with the Eight of Cups. And with it on the Eight of Swords, I do feel like that this energy, this clarity, conscious clarity, and notice that the Sun is on the side of bringing things out of the shadow into the conscious mind. And with that Ace of Pentacles, it is the seed that is growing towards the light. And as you break free of your fear with the Eight of Swords, you will experience clarity. You will find other like-minded others. Here we have Maiden, Mother, and Crone energies with the Maiden, the fertile Mother, and the Crone energy. And if you notice, there's another little black kitty cat. And you are claiming your independence. Okay, let's get you a couple spell cards, because it's always fun to do magic with the Sun and Moon, and the new moon is a great time to begin those spells. And it may take the full moon cycle for it to manifest. Okay, those wanted to come out. So let's take a look at what we have. I will go through them as they fell out. So we have Best Self Collage. Let me get it in focus here for you. Okay, make a mini vision board by cutting out small photos that represent you at your best self and pasting them to a small card. Put the card inside your wallet or purse and look at it whenever you need to be reminded of who you're becoming. Okay, this can be done on an index card, or you can make it something bigger. Okay, next we have the shield. Imagine an iridescent bubble around you whenever you're not feeling safe. Okay, we talked about that with the aura, rubbing your hands together, feeling that bubble of energy that is your aura. You can bring solar energy, I feel like is what is being asked here. The solar energy to bring you clarity, to bring you the light, to energize and help you to grow, because you know things are drawn to the light. And yes, there are flowers that only bloom at nighttime and with the full moon, and this is going to help energize your energies. You also have Maiden, Mother, and Crone. Oh, there's actually three little black kitty cats here. So you are protected in any and every phase of your process, of your life. Your guide, your animal guide here with the black cat, may not always be seen, but it is there protecting you. We have a circle of power here with the women dancing around holding hands. And that is raising the cone of power, the energy that protects you. Next, we have No Stress Potion. Fill a glass jar with dried blue vervain skullcap and chamomile and cover with high-proof alcohol. Cap the jar tightly, label and date it, and leave it in the dark place for 4 weeks. Shake periodically, take 20 drops whenever you're feeling uneasy. So high-proof alcohol ideally would be something like vodka. Okay, next we have the Flower Power. Keep violet plants around your home. Then dry the flowers to use as an incense to raise the vibration inside your space. Okay, see how we are with these spell cards, how you're creating your best self collage, you're protecting it, you're keeping your best self collage hidden in your wallet, in your purse. It's not for everyone to see. And then when you're feeling this resistance in your body, you can use your no stress potion, and you can also use flower power. Your last spell card is a success jar, and that is beautiful with that sun card on the 8 of Swords because you have overcome a great deal. So fill a small corked top bottle with layers of lapis lazuli and carnelian chips, crushed bay leaves, dried basil and chamomile, frankincense, resin, and a few drops of bergamot. Close the bottle tightly and place it on your desk or near your workspace where you can look at it to remind you of your success. Okay, let's get your final card with the Super Activator to close out your reading. And we have for you, I believe I'm worthy of feeling good. And I feel that is a beautiful complementary card to this whole reading. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have true manifesting is about receiving what is of the highest good for all. And I feel like that we talked about that in your reading, especially with that 7 of Wands, walking the higher path, walking away from that which no longer serves you, and standing up for yourself, standing in your truth, because you are worthy of feeling good. I'm going to end your reading here, pile 1. I hope that you enjoyed it and you found it inspiring. Please feel free to write a comment, like this channel, subscribe to this channel if you'd like. Share this reading if you think that it might help someone you know. Until next time, take care and blessed be, my friends. Hello, pile 2. If you were drawn to the cat's eye sphere, welcome to your reading for this Gemini new moon. We're going to first look at your 3 Moonology cards, and then I will draw you a card from the Queen of the Moon Oracle. And then we will get you a card from the Super Attractor deck. So we begin with Ring Around the Moon Protection. You are protected at this time. Next, we have the new moon in Aquarius. Bring love into the situation. Now, Aquarius is an air sign, so this energy will trine with the Gemini new moon. So bring love into the situation. Love is protection. Where love is, fear disappears. And then we have the last quarter moon in Sagittarius. Practice gratitude. Okay, gratitude is also a form of love, being grateful. Okay, let's get you a Queen of the Moon Oracle. And we have for you Faith with number 31 and the Worm Moon. Okay, I think that this is really beautiful because faith brings you protection, it brings you love and gratitude. At the bottom of the deck, we have number 7 with the waxing crescent moon 5 and nourishment. So nourish. You have to nourish love. You have to nourish your practice of gratitude, as well as nourishing your faith that you believe is also your shield of protection. Let's dive deeper into this reading with the Moon Tarot, Moon Garden Tarot. And we begin with the Hanged Man, suspension. And if you think about the caterpillar that weaves its shroud around itself, that cocoon is a form of protection as it goes through the transformation of becoming a butterfly. Here we have Odin hanging from the branches of Yggdrasil and the runes that Spirit is giving him, which help bring guidance. The Hangman is this chrysalis state of being, getting a different perspective on things. And with this new moon in Gemini, it's a great time to get a new perspective, seeing things differently. Next, we have the 9 of Swords. Okay, this is the never-ending nightmare, and this is the situation you're meant to bring love into. Some of the things that you might be seeing in your dreams might carry through into the waking hours. You're almost haunted by these nightmarish dreams. Also, getting a new perspective on something, you're going to change the way that you see things, and things are going to change because it's shifting your energy. Next, we have the 2 of Staves. Okay, you're being encouraged to step out of your comfort zone. This isn't going to be easy. It's also a card of contemplation. The Hangman involves contemplation, but it's more of allowing the flow of your thoughts and not holding on to them, but rather witnessing them. The 9 of Swords is where you're holding on to your doubts and fears. And for some of you, it could be stepping out of your comfort zone. Some of you might have difficulty leaving your house, or even, going outside at certain times of the day, leaving your house at certain times of the day. Maybe the traffic is really terrible at certain times of the day, and you just, maybe some of you have been in an accident and something triggers that, and you're realizing what has been holding you back with this Hangman and the 9 of Swords, and now you are thinking about stepping out of your comfort zone. And we have the Devil, facing your fears, doing some shadow work, bringing your faith into overcoming a negative situation, or this could be negative behavioral patterns, bad habits that you want to overcome, because you can't overcome bad habits unless you want to. And a lot of ways to do that is to bring your faith into the situation. It doesn't matter what you believe in. It can just, be energies, physics, which, there's a lot of mystery to that. Just as with faith, there's mystery to faith. Faith is not necessarily about facts. However, faith utilizes rituals. Rituals create patterns, and these ritual patterns can help you shift your own behavior. It can also help you understand while you're working through this shadow work, which is stepping out of the comfort zone and dealing with this never-ending nightmare by getting a new perspective on it. And then we have death. Okay, I do feel like that many of you are going to overcome this nightmare. The nightmare is going to come to an end. You have deeper understanding, because the death card is about death, transformation, and rebirth. Well, we have the transformation with the hangman, getting a different perspective, gaining some higher consciousness, a new perspective on your doubts and fears that have created this never-ending nightmare in your life, having the courage to step out of your comfort zone and embrace your shadow. You're not trying to destroy your shadow, because shadow and light are part of the whole, like the yin and yang. You need that contrast, and I feel like that many of you are experiencing a big contrast in your life, and what death is helping you to do is integrate those experiences. Just as some people feel that they remember some of their past lives or time periods that they're drawn to in this lifetime, different cultures that are of interest to them, you know, can connect them to some part of their past life. It can connect them to spirituality and how it's evolved, because death is about evolving. Okay, then we have the King of Staffs. Okay, this is taking action on your inspiration. And quite often, some of our greatest inspiration can emerge from our trials and tribulations of our doubts and fears, our shadow aspects, going through this transformation, and through creativity, you can work through those situations. Let's get some clarifying tarot on here. I'm using the Everyday Witch Tarot for this. And I want to mention, we have 3 high arcana cards here: the Hangman, the Devil, and Death. And those energies are going to be the strongest energies in this reading. Okay, on the Hangman, we have the Hermit. Okay, this is another high arcana card. The Hermit is that dark night of the soul. And I feel that it goes really well with this Hangman, because you are facing your darkness by yourself. Only you alone can change the way you perceive things. The fire here would represent the Hermit's lantern in the traditional tarot cards. Fire is transformation, it's creativity, it's action. And here we have the King of Fire here. You are delving deep into yourself. You are getting to know who you are. That's what the Hermit's about. It's getting away from other people's perspectives. This Nine of Swords can be social media, an overwhelm of social media, other people's opinions, what they think of you, and what other people think of you doesn't matter. What other people think of you is none of your business, just as what you think of them is none of their business. And on the Nine of Swords, we have the King of Cups, the King of Water, mastery over your emotions. Regardless of the waters that you are riding, you are going with the flow. And even though it might be a little bit scary, you have courage. That is where you find your courage. And in your courage, you discover your emotional balance, your emotional mastery. On the Two of Staffs, we have the Chariot. And that goes so well with this Two of Staffs, getting out of your comfort zone. Here we are making a choice. Which way do you want to go? This way or that way? This is also a card of independence. And we also have a little black cat here in the side card, indicating independence. For me, the Chariot is much like when you learn how to drive and you get to use the family car, or you are gifted a vehicle, and having that vehicle, you can go further, you can go to other places out of your comfort zone. You can go wherever you choose to go. That is part of the independence. Exploring new places. And this is also another High Arcana card. So we have the Hermit and the Chariot so far in the High Arcana in your clarifying cards. Next, we have the Seven of Pentacles on the Devil card. Okay, the Seven of Pentacles is it ripe for the picking? This can be about opportunities. The Devil card is about your shadow work, and in that shadow work you can be inspired, you can be given new ideas to work through those shadow aspects. Which ideas are ripe for the picking? And keep in mind, there are things that bloom in the darkness. And on the Death card, we have the Eight of Cups. Walking away from that which no longer serves you. Taking a road of your own. We have a lot of independence here in your reading. And you are protected here because you are embracing your courage. Courage doesn't exist without facing your fears, without facing your doubts. It takes courage to not only face them, but to work through them and to walk away from situations that no longer serve you. This could be walking away from relationships. On the King of Staffs, we have the Ten of Wands. Okay, the Death card is the Reaper. He's harvesting that which has been sown. And the Ten of Wands is about bringing home what you have reaped. You are reaping what you have sown. Maybe for some of you, you have an abundance of ideas because the wands represent our thoughts, our ideas, our creativity, the beginning actions of those that are inspired action. And so I would recommend writing them down. And that would be a good thing to do with this Gemini new moon because it's about communication. And this will, your journal becomes a way that you can communicate with yourself, communicate with your shadow self, working through these never-ending nightmares. gaining new perspective on who you are, shedding the old skin so that you can be reborn. Because another thing with the 10 of Wands is you are going to gather up seeds from this harvest to plant for the next planting season. Okay, let's get you some spell cards because it's always fun to do magic with the new moons to begin magic that will take you through the cycles. Okay, Spirit has dropped out 2 cards for you. We'll go with the first one. And we have the Success Jar. Okay, fill a small corked topped bottle with layers of lapis lazuli and carnelian chips, crushed bay leaves, dried basil and chamomile, frankincense resin, and a few drops of bergamot essential oil. Close the bottle tightly and place it on your desk or near your workspace to remind you of the success that you're working towards. And then we have the Best Self Collage. Make a mini vision board by cutting out small photos that represent you at your best self and pasting them to a small card. This can be like an index card. Put the card inside your wallet or your purse and look at it whenever you need to be reminded of who you are becoming. Okay, that's interesting because both of these cards came up in the first reading. So this is a focus on yourself, becoming the best version of who you are and working through some challenges where you are protected because you're bringing love into the situation, and where love is, fear disappears. And that will help you to practice gratitude as well as your faith, because a lot of faith is grounded in gratitude. Let's get you a couple of cards from the Super Attractor to close out your reading. And we have for you, I release time and let the universe show me what to do. This is bringing love into the situation, practicing gratitude, bringing in your faith that protects you. You can release time, knowing that things will unfold in their own divine timing. This 7 of Pentacles is things will ripen in their own time, and that will guide you to when to pick the fruit, when the time is ripe for the picking. And you will intuitively know that. The bottom of the deck, we have, I believe I'm worthy of feeling good. Okay, this card also came up in the first reading. So if you were drawn to that sodalite double-pointed crystal, you might find some helpful messages in that reading if you haven't already seen it. I'm going to end your reading here. I hope that you found it helpful and inspiring. Please feel free to leave a comment, like and share this this video. Feel free to subscribe to this channel. Until next time, take care and blessed be, my friends. Hello, Pile 3. If you were drawn to the clear quartz stone, welcome to your reading. We're first going to look at your 3 Moonology cards, and then I will draw a card from the Queen of the Moon Oracle. So let's dive in. We have the new moon in Aries. Go for it. We had the new moon in Aries well, a couple months ago. And so you may have started something back in March. That's when we had the new moon in Aries. With the sun enters Aries on the spring equinox, and I forget what date the new moon actually was, but you may have started something March, April, and you're still, you're meant to go for it. And this is encouraging you to keep at it. Next, we have the moon maybe, intuition. This is asking you to tune into your intuition. Your intuition is on right now. And with Gemini new moon, Gemini is ruled by Mercury, which is about the mind, communication, travel. And if your intuition is like, go for it, you're meant to go for it, pile 3. Next, we have the full moon in Leo. Don't let pride get in your way. Okay, this is interesting because we have the new moon in Aries, which is a fire sign. It's the first astro sign on the astro wheel, and Leo is a fire sign as well. So this energy is going to trine, and it's really going with your intuition. And I feel like that your intuition may be so on right now that you might get a little too proud about your intuition and think you know it all. The full moon in Leo card here is don't let your pride get in the way. This means tune into your intuition. Check in with your frequency, your energy frequency, and don't let pride get in the way, because so long as you treat your intuition with gratitude and with a humble state of mind, it will serve you well. Okay, let's get you a Queen of the Moon Oracle card. And we have for you Patience, the green corn moon with number 36. So be patient with yourself. That could also be that pride, because sometimes pride can make us impatient. The bottom of the deck, we have number 5 with the waxing crescent moon and growth. Okay, with the green corn, it's not quite ready for picking. You're meant to practice patience and allow it to continue to grow. Let your ideas, let your intuition continue to grow. Let it continue to bring you new information. Let's go deeper into this reading with the tarot. I am using the Moon Garden Tarot. Okay, Spirit, toss this card out. We're starting with the Ten of Swords, an ending. Okay, keep in mind that just before the new moon, we have the black moon, the crone moon, which is the ending, the darkness. And then we have the new moon. So the Ten of Swords represents a blessing in disguise. You're coming out of a bad situation. And the Ten of Swords, some of you might feel like you have been stabbed in the back over and over and over again. And you're done with it. And you're going for it. You're going for the new blessing. You're shedding this old skin. You're making the necessary changes in your life. And next we have the Two of Pentacles. Okay, the Two of Pentacles is about juggling your energies, what's coming in, what's going out. There's a balance and flow to this. With the Ten of Swords, maybe you have been experiencing a stagnant kind of energy and you need to step out and get into the flow. Next, we have the Three of Pentacles. This is really beautiful, especially following the Two of Pentacles. This is the dream team that makes the dream work. So this could include two other people perhaps, or just another person, a team. The dream team makes the dream works. This could be that each of you have a dream that you want to manifest, that you want to fulfill. And you can't do it on your own. And you've been calling to the universe for the right people to come in, and you intuitively know the people that you want to work with. Don't let pride get in your way. For some of you, you could be assuming a leadership role here with both Aries and Leo. They're both signs of leadership, as the astro wheel starts off with Aries. Aries is a cardinal sign as it initiates the spring equinox, and Leo is fixed fire. And so I feel like that maybe you are calling in the right team, you're initiating the work, and you're fixing it to the project to be done. Each person has a role to fulfill. Think of it as, a group of musicians. They each have a different instrument to play. Well, you have to practice your part on that instrument, and then when you bring it together, it makes up the whole tune. And that your instrument might have a break while the other two instruments play, and then you come in and bring in your sound. You work together in concert. Next, we have the Empress. Oh, this is beautiful. This is a fertile queen. We have a cornucopia of harvest here. She's a fertile queen. She's about abundance. And you just have to have patience, because you have to plant the seeds first, nurture them to harvest. Then we have the Two of Swords. You might come to a place where it's like, okay, where do we go from here? Sometimes it can be difficult. Okay, where do we end this song? Where do we end this project? You're walking into an unknown. She is wearing a blindfold. And this is where your intuition comes into play. Her eyes are closed, and you're meant to tune in to your energies and tune into the energy of the Empress here, which often is shown with a sign of Venus. So Venus is going to play a role in your reading. And then we have the Two of Staffs. So we have the Two of Pentacles and the Two of Staffs and the Two of Swords. So we have three twos here. Okay, the Two of Staffs is about stepping out of your comfort zone. This could be trying something new. Because with this Two of Pentacles, you have this flow going. And trying something new might be bringing in another person into your trio. And yeah, stepping out of your comfort zone, seeing things differently, maybe finding confirmation for your intuition. So, and having patience as well. The Two of Swords is about being at the crossroads. Which way do you want to go? The way to go might be the one that you feel least comfortable with taking. Okay, let's get some clarifying cards on these tarot cards. You have one High Arcana card so far with the Empress, which is very powerful. She is encouraging you to go for it. And also not being prideful, but also being patient and letting things unfold. It's important to go with the flow here. There might be something or someone that you're not seeing yet, and you're exploring those options with the Two of Staffs. And again, I feel like that's an indication of taking the path that doesn't feel comfortable, trying something new. Okay, on the Ten of Swords, we have the Hierophant. This is a High Arcana card. It's also a card of initiation. The Hierophant is about organized spirituality. So it initiates the community to its spiritual beliefs. And you might be experiencing a shift in what you believe in, going with what feels intuitively correct for you. On the Two of Pentacles, we have the Chariot. Okay, another High Arcana card. A card of making a choice for yourself, this way or that way. It's kind of like the Two of Swords being at the crossroads. But the Chariot is about your independence. We have a little black cat in the sidecar here, and that represents independence. I like to think of the Chariot as you learned how to drive a vehicle, and now you get to have the independence of the car keys. And having that vehicle, you can go further. You have more independence, which gives you more choices to explore. Okay, and the Three of Pentacles, we have the Three of Pentacles. Okay, confirmation to the Three of Pentacles that we already talked about. And I do feel like that you are on the right track if you take the road that might be more challenging, but holds the most rewards. You haven't explored that road yet. And in the Chariot, you can now go explore those places that you weren't able to explore before. On the Empress, we have the Two of Cups. Okay, this can be the beginning of romance. This could be maybe someone in your trio, your dream team that makes the dream work, could end up being a romantic partner. And with the Two of Cups on the Empress, this could involve, a child expecting a baby. But that baby can also represent a project that you're working on together, and you're toasting to your choices of working together. You're celebrating a new beginning of a business adventure, a romantic relationship. Okay, on the Two of Swords, we have the Queen of Cups. Okay, here we have a pregnant queen. She also represents intuition. And here she is feeding the fish in the water. She's very sensitive to every vibration that comes up out of the unconscious emotional waters and comes under her feet. And then it takes the sand out from beneath her feet, and she can feel those shifts and changes that the currents, the emotional currents, bring. So for some of you that were drawn to this reading, this most certainly can represent expecting a child, or someone that you know is expecting a child, with the Empress here and the Queen of Cups. And we also have the Two of Cups. Okay, on the Two of Staffs, we have the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords is about focus. This card is usually ruled by Gemini. We have all these books here, learning new information, you know, the things that represent Gemini and Mercury. Studying new things, studying ways to do things differently. Maybe for some of you, this can be a career change. Maybe for some of you, it's bringing your side project into being your business. And you're bringing the right people on board. And this can still just be a side business to bring in more income, because we do have this Two of Pentacles, which is the flow of energies, of money. And then we have the Three of Pentacles on top of the Three of Pentacles. So this very well could be an increase in your finances. Okay, let's get you some cards from the spells. I'm just going to let Spirit drop them out. Okay, you have two. We start with the Aura Cleanse. Okay, mix 3 drops of rosemary with a cup of sea salt and add it to a warm bath. Soak in the bath for 15 minutes to release any negative energy that has been picked up during the day. To me, that would be that 10 of Swords energy, you know, that negative energy that you've picked up throughout your day through meditation and contemplation here with the Hierophant, tapping in with your higher self, your spirituality. You're meant to go for it. Rosemary is also a plant of prosperity, of money, abundance. And then we have Portal of Light. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and imagine a rainbow following down from the heavens through the top of your head and into the ground, then extending a couple of meters out around your body. This light will heal holes in your aura and renew your spirit. Okay, I feel like that also is communicating to the meditation here with the Hierophant. I also feel like that when they speak of the rainbow, you can certainly see the rainbow light flowing down through the heavens, through the top of your head. But as it flows down through your body, let it light up each of your chakras, which is also the colors of the rainbow. We have a red balloon here that can be the color of the root chakra. We have a portal here with all these stars, and we have a golden moon. To me, that color would represent the solar plexus. Okay, so Leo rules over the sun. The sun tends to be yellow or depicted with the color yellow, and can represent the solar plexus, which is the sun of your chakras, though Leo rules the heart chakra. That's how you're going to plug into your intuition. And Aries is ruled by the planet Mars, so we have that red energy there as well. Okay, let's get you a couple cards from the Super Attractor and see what you are attracting in. This is meant to give you confirmations to the reading and tie it all together. So we have, as soon as I choose to see the light in the dark corners, I redirect my power toward what I want. Okay, go for it. But have patience with yourself. You know, the intuition is about shining light into the dark corners, and it's going to help you redirect your powers. We have the Chariot here on the Two of Pentacles, redirecting your financial energies, because finances, money is a form of energy. At the bottom of the deck, we have, when I merge my desire with faith, I can take action from a place of peace rather than control. Okay, so to me, this is pride can kind of control us, inflating the ego. But when you bring that to a place of peace rather than control, you tune into the flow of your intuition. And, you know, I just keep coming back to this Hierophant card because this is a practice. Gratitude is a practice. Your intuition is a practice. Sometimes it's on and sometimes it's not. And sometimes it's like, oh, I knew that was going to happen, but we didn't listen to our intuition. So we experienced the consequences of that situation. But then we learn to choose better and make better choices. And merging your desire with your faith from a place of peace and being patient with yourself. So I'm going to end your reading here, pile 3. I hope you found it helpful, inspiring. Please feel free to leave a comment below, like, share this video if you think it might help someone you know. Feel free to subscribe to this channel. Until next time, take care and blessed be, my friends.